Witam Was serdecznie. Jesteśmy dzisiaj punktualnie 11:30 i zgodnie z naszą zapowiedzią w dniu dzisiejszym zabieramy Was do Mjanmy, czyli dosyć egzotycznego miejsca w Azji i niezwykle ciekawego, który wcale nie tak długo, wcale nie tak dawno został w zasadzie otwarty dla turystów i umożliwiał im zwiedzanie. Na początku tradycyjnie Was bardzo proszę, żebyście napisali w krótkim komentarzu, że jest wszystko ok technicznie, że widzicie mnie, że słyszycie mnie, wtedy będziemy wiedzieć, że jest ok i możemy zaczynać. Ja nie jestem pewna, czy my jesteśmy już online, wydaje mi się, że tak, więc te osoby, które już się podłączyły, proszę o krótki komentarz, że jest ok, możemy ruszać i zaczynamy. Chwilę poczekam na komentarze, widzę, że parę osób się podłączyło, proszę o krótki komentarz, że jest ok technicznie i będziemy mogli ruszać. U nas zawsze troszeczkę z opóźnieniem spływają. Super, dzięki Wiktoria, widzę, że napisałaś tak, jest dobrze. Cieszę się bardzo. Ja nazywam się Elwira Urbańczyk i reprezentuję firmę Make Break, w której przygotowujemy wyjazdy szyte na miarę, zarówno dla klientów indywidualnych, jak i klientów biznesowych w postaci kreatywnych wyjazdów motywacyjnych. Tworzymy także kreatywne eventy i konferencje, również w formule online, która, jak wiecie, teraz jest dosyć popularna. Tak jak zaczęłam, zabieramy Was dzisiaj do Mjanmy, i jest to nasze kolejne spotkanie z cyklu wirtualnych podróży. A wirtualne podróże, co to są wirtualne podróże? Jest to spotkanie live na żywo, w którym wraz z naszym gościem z różnych zakątków świata opowiadamy Wam różne ciekawe rzeczy odnośnie danego kraju, a także chociaż kawałek chcemy Wam jego pokazać. Tak jak mówiłam, teraz duże rzeczy przyniosły się do online'u, ponieważ mamy trochę ograniczone możliwości w podróżowania, stąd też pomysł właśnie na wirtualne podróże. Mamy nadzieję, że jak już będziecie wolni w wyborze miejsc, do których będziecie mogli pojechać, będzie Wam łatwiej wybrać kierunek po obejrzeniu takiego spotkania i zachęcimy Was, żebyście właśnie do tego kraju pojechali. Myślę, że w kwestii wstępu to będzie wystarczające, a teraz chciałabym Wam serdecznie przedstawić mojego dzisiejszego gościa, którego już tutaj widzicie obok i jest nim Oriol. Hello Oriol, how are you?
Hello, I'm good, thank you. And you?
Yeah, I'm good. I hope that our audience are also good.
Hello to our audience then, and nice to meet you from Myanmar, from Yangon.
Please introduce yourself, say something about you, what you are doing in Myanmar.
Okay, yes, my name is Oriol. I'm actually half French, half Spanish, and I work for the European market in a local travel agent that we collaborate with European tour operators and agents, like with our friends here. We make all kind of tours, but especially we are specialized on adventure tours, luxury adventure as well, off the beaten path. So to go a little bit to the new destinations that we've been developing and even creating our own experience there. So what we try is to make the difference by offering a different perspective of Myanmar since now 1995. We've been operating here in Myanmar and also some destinations around Myanmar like Laos, Thailand, Vietnam.
How long you live in Myanmar and why you choose this country to move there?
So I traveled for the first time in 2011 to Myanmar, and I started to work for this local tour operator on 2012. So we start from Europe 2012, 2013, and it was on 2014 when we started to grow. Also, the tourism start to grow up in Myanmar. It's when I decide to move here. So 2014, I'm resident in Yangon, Myanmar.
And how is the living there? How are the people who are live there? How you feel there?
Yeah, that's a good question because you always discover new things, even now, right? But I would say that the good things, which are the easy one for Myanmar, is like, first of all, is one of the safest countries that I know. I ever been. Nothing happened. I have lots of friends that lived here, move again, or new friends that are coming. Also, obviously, a lot of local friends, and it's very, very strange to have problems like robberies or bad things happening around. You can move everywhere during the nighttime. People in general are very kind. They like a lot to service you and to respect you. So it makes everything easier because you always feel very safe and very welcome everywhere you go in Myanmar.
Yeah, this is what we are talking before about that. And
Mm.
please say where you are actually now, what you will show us during this virtual trip. Behind you, I
So
see, but you can explain.
absolutely, we choose this place because this is one of the biggest parks in Yangon. Yangon is very green. We have lots of parks, big rivers as well, especially one big river. But it's very, very green. A bit everywhere. We have some parks, even some small golf course and these kind of things. But here is People's Park. People's Park is the biggest park, I would say, in the city center, the heart of Yangon, and we have a big esplanade that goes until the Shwedagon Pagoda. Okay, Shwedagon Pagoda is the biggest, but also the most important pagoda in Myanmar. One of the most important for the Buddhism. We have lots of worship tourists that come here to visit only the Shwedagon Pagoda from India, Nepal, Thailand, Vietnam, other countries, because it's a very important. There are some relics from of Buddha inside. This is how they start to build. So it has over 2,000 years. The first the first parts of the monument, and well, we have this park just in front where people can stroll around, can meet, and eat, have fun. It's a very clean and nice place with lots of birds, very green, and with this magnificent view of the pagoda that is right now closed for the COVID situation. The pagodas, the church, the let's say the mosques, all these worship places have been closed and remain closed until now. Even though there's not a strict lockdown yet, not still. We can go to the parks. We can go to some shops. Bars and restaurants will open next week, but pagodas are closed right now. So people, even sometimes they come around to pray a little bit, but from outside.
This park for me looks like the great place for a picnic. Is it popular in Myanmar or not really?
Yeah, but curiously, I think the same. It looks like a great place for picnic, but it's strange to see people doing picnic here. I don't know, Sandy, if you know if it's allowed or not. I'm talking to my friend. It's allowed, but one thing, there are other places that there are also some restaurants in the aside, so where they offer the typical food from Myanmar. So I think people, they prefer to go there. Plus, people, they don't like here a lot the sun. Usually, like in most of Asian countries,
Yeah,
they
true.
flee a little bit from the sun. So Europeans, as soon as we have a little bit of sun, even more in Eastern Europe, right? We go out, we enjoy it, have a picnic, a sandwich. Okay? Here is the contrary. Is when it starts to be dark, you see the people going in the beach or in the park, because usually they don't like that much the sun.
So it's typical European thinking. Go to the park for the picnic site.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I wanted to ask you about some general things about Myanmar, about the culture,
Okay,
about the country. And I have the first question to you. And I was thinking about the same question. So I can
okay.
ask you now, why it's not Burma? So it was Burma, now it's Myanmar. Why they changed the name of the country? What is the history about
Right.
this?
Okay. Well, as you know, the history of this country is very intense. Okay, and it has been changing from the different, let's say, regimes, even before the colonialism, but much before actually. Is a very diverse country. We have right now 134 ethnic groups, more than 100 languages. And I can tell you that the languages you can find here is not like, for example, the difference between the language you have in Italy or in Spain, between Catalan and Spanish and Gallego. This is all Romanic languages that are quite similar to each other. Here it's completely different. I mean, they cannot understand each other, and still there's a lot of people that, I mean, using the language. So the Burmese obviously is the national language, but still Burmese, many people, they don't speak or they don't speak well. Why is that? Because still is a big country. We don't have to forget that this country is big as France and United Kingdom together, more or less. Okay, so it's a huge country with a very dramatic, let's say, landscape, from very high mountains to Virgin Islands in the south. You have a bit of everything here, and why I'm telling you that, because being that diverse, one of the decisions that the military junta made in the past was to change the name of the country to unify the country, because Burma comes also from the root of the word Burma comes from Burmese. Okay, Burmese comes again from the root the Bamar, which is the majority ethnic group. In the 134, the main one, in 134 ethnic groups, the biggest one, the one that is in most of the territory and the majority of the population, is the Bamar. Bamar, they speak Burmese. Okay, so that's why, in order to unify all these regions, actually states that speak a different language, that are not Bamar, that even consider themselves well, they want more autonomy as well. Actually, you know, in Myanmar we have 7 regions and 7 states. It's not only regions, or you know, in every country they usually they have the same, right? You can have states, like in the United States you can have regions, like in France they have several regions. Here we have both. The states is when the majority ethnic group is not the Bamar, is the name of the state is the name of the local ethnic group that dominates the region. Chin state, Kachin state, Kaya state, Shan state. All this means that the majority, the ethnic group that you mainly find there is the Shan people, the Kachin people, the Chin people, and the rest, like Yangon region, Irrawaddy region, Bago region. This is not states, this is region. And in these regions, the ethnic group that dominates is the Bamar, is the Burmese. Okay, that's why, okay, in order to try to unify all these mix of cultures, languages, and especially ethnic groups, they change a little bit, they rename not only the country itself, but many other things, you know, many cities, even the rivers. Before it was the Irrawaddy, nowadays is the Irrawaddy. And they change, you know, a little bit, well, to create like a new nation. The problem was, at that time, some of the resolutions being issued by the military were not accepted for maybe for Europe or for other countries. So that's why these kind of updates, we skip it. Let's say, we say, okay, no, we don't accept, because this is not a government that we accept. So now that the democracy is coming to Myanmar, and there are different, and we accept, let's say, a little bit more, now we start to say, okay, yeah, we it's not Burmese, it's not Burma anymore. It's not, for French it's Birmanie, for Spanish it's Birmania, for all the countries they have the name like this. But for us it's an exercise telling them, no, I mean, it's still correct, maybe it's accepted, especially in your country, but nowadays it's Myanmar and Myanmar people, you know. It's like and everyone says like this here.
It's kind of clean the history, I can say,
yeah,
to change the name and
let's say the intention itself was good. Okay, then there might be some reasons behind that, where you can agree or not, But at the end,
Mhm.
when you call it Burma, Burmese, it's like it's just as a part of what all the country is,
All the
So
countries, yeah.
yeah, that's the
So
main reason.
I found the information that in Myanmar there are two currencies. Is that true?
No, that's another point. It's interesting already you told me that, because one of the problems of these fast developing countries that have that many opportunities, because Myanmar, don't forget, as I said, is a big territory, not overpopulated, not with poverty, extreme poverty, especially. I mean, here there's no hunger, there's not extreme. It's been difficult times, but what I mean is, like, it's very rich actually in terms of natural resources. One of the richest countries in the world. It's very rich in terms of heritage. It's very rich in terms of diversity, as I said before, with all the ethnic groups. But it's very important also geopolitically, because it's exactly where China and India meet, and there are lots of interest from these big powers, in this region. So I'm telling you that because the country has been developing a lot and very fast, and a lot of information that were through 3, 4, 5, 10 years ago, they changed already. One a good example is, like, since long time ago, they ask us, people coming from Europe, oh, we need to change and bring US dollars because in Myanmar they don't accept the euros. That's not true. They accept euros since 5, 6 years ago. It's fine. You can come with your euros. They change, very good exchange rate here. Don't even need to change in your bank in Europe. Uh, so what you said, it was in one part of the history that happened before, but it's not like this anymore. So you have the Myanmar chat, that's the official currency, and the US dollar is widely used, especially for hotels, for some high-end restaurants. Not everywhere. You cannot pay in dollars in the street in every shop, but let's say people and the economy that you can see day by day, they use a lot still the US dollars, which, by the way, have to be in perfect state, very, very clean, not folded, not old series. If not, it's very difficult. They accept, or they give you a different exchange rate, of course, lower.
Okay, so in the hotels and you can pay dollars, but generally it's the local currency and you can use the local currency everywhere. Yeah, to be honest, when I was searching for some information about Myanmar, some interesting facts, I found really strange things on some other blogs, even on the one of the travel agency website. I
Mm-hmm.
need to say you because it was so funny for me that they
Mm-hmm.
wrote that Myanmar is in Indonesia. I said, why? It's a different country. So this is why I'm asking you about the two currencies, because I was like,
Yeah.
why? How it's possible that travel agency put
The,
on the website some really stupid, I need to say,
yeah,
information,
yeah.
yeah? So,
Yeah, it's there's a lot of ignorance, and there's a lot. I mean, for I don't know what reason, but the conception and the ideas that people have of Myanmar sometimes are quite wrong. And before I said it's one of the safest place I've seen and I've been in my life, much safer than many places, not in Asia, in Europe, right? Even my own country, as I said before, in Spain, in France, you have much more risk to suffer a robbery or whatever, or to pay more because you are a tourist. Here is
yeah,
absolutely not like this. But people tend to think the contrary. They think that when they come to Myanmar, is still a dangerous place or whatever, because there have been many problems in the past, right?
yeah,
But they don't realize that actually these problems are very focal, specific problems for specific regions where there are lots of interest, because, as I said, this country is very rich in natural resources. We have gas, we have oil, there's gold, there's loads of precious gems and stones, like rubies, like diamonds, like jade stone. Almost all the jade stone you have in this planet comes from Myanmar. So uh, in these regions, sometimes there are some clashes between the ethnic groups and armies and whatever, but it's not a problem for tourists. and it's only happening in these areas. So we never have a tourist that has been
Attacked or
kidnapped or
Mhm.
or no. So however, people go to places where constantly, you go to Paris and it's your wallet is in danger all the time, right? But
Yeah.
here your wallet is safe, and nothing happened here, and it never happened to me in 8 years. But not only to me, also to all the travelers we've been working with. I never had in 8 years, and I'm sure it's gonna happen one day, right? But never in 8 years, like, oh, we put the shoes in the temple and someone took it, or my wallet was in the car, and then the money disappeared or something like that. Never, so that's why we need to know again what is Myanmar, because what was 10, 15, 20, 30 years ago and now it's very different. But still, what myself, when I read even the guides, I know some travel agents, some of the guides you read from, I don't know, Lonely Planet or things like that, you still
Yeah.
read things that are not true, even though they published 2 years ago, because new
Yeah.
regions open, new restrictions. Sometimes there are places you can go, places you cannot go, uh, because also the things change quickly, and new border points with Thailand to cross from Thailand to Myanmar, from China to Myanmar. Now it's closed, but it was open for recently. Uh, we need to update all the time, right? And that's why we are here to support the travelers.
That's good that you are talking about that, because sometimes people think that, oh, I can travel in Europe because it's safe. I know what to do, where to go, and it's
Mm.
absolutely safe for travel. But when I'm going farther, I am afraid. But I
Yeah.
remember that I didn't have any bad experience when I traveled to Asia or Africa or South America.
Yeah.
But I want to store my wallet in Barcelona.
Oh, sorry. This is a common
So yeah,
problem.
yeah, it is. Yeah, in the
Yeah,
subway,
yeah.
you need to be taken.
Oof, even more.
Have
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that's true. Uh, Please say which time of the year is the best time to visit Myanmar. Is it like whole year destination, or there are a couple
Mm.
months that
Okay,
you would like to say
definitely.
that?
Yeah, definitely, and unfortunately not. Uh, by the way, I didn't say before. Just now I see it's getting dark. That's why we choose this timing, because you will see
Yeah,
how the pagoda is being light. There will be light, and in like 10, 15 minutes, it's gonna be amazing how it changes. Huh?
yeah, it's
So
nice.
coming back to your question, um, it's definitely and unfortunately for us, the seasons here are very different each other, and
Mm.
very how to say, determinate. It's like, uh, it's not like, okay, sometimes it can be more hot, or sometimes no, it's always the same. That's the easy thing. Also, it never changes, and there are 3 seasons. Sorry, yeah, three
Mm-hmm.
seasons. And let's say we start from the let's say the best season, that should be October. October, even better, mid-October to end of March. We could say mid-March, because in March it starts to be a little bit hot already. The thing is, we have very nice weather. In every region it changes also the weather, I mean the temperature. But in terms of traveling, the best is October to February, March, because from May to September is the rainy season. So
Mm-hmm.
after the rainy season, everything is green, is beautiful. The lakes, the rivers, everything is full. The rice fields, so everything is fantastic. Let's say in terms of landscape, in terms of temperature. The nighttime, it's cooling a little bit. In some areas, it's even a little bit. I mean, you need a sweater, or you need something because it's a little bit cold. But in most of the country, it's still hot. It's hot always, like
Yeah,
especially for, I'm thinking for
for European
Northern Europe, yeah,
Polish.
European and Polish, it's gonna be hot always, right? But then when you nighttime, from November, December, January, you can be 19, 18 degrees, okay, in the coast, in the Yangon. If you're in the mountains, it's gonna be less, like 12 degrees, 13, 10. If you go far in the north, which is quite complicated, then it's like it's snowing. You know, the far north Myanmar, we have mountains. The highest mountain in Myanmar is 5,900 meters, so it's higher than any mountain in Europe. And there obviously you have the snow, but these places are still very restricted to the tourism. It's very complicated and expensive to get there. It's not for everyone. So what I was saying again, June to September, May to September, heavy rain, especially in the coast. So people looking for beach, for sure, they cannot go in Myanmar between May and September. However, those that don't want to go to the beach is a very nice period also to travel to Myanmar, especially I would say July, August, September. Because if you don't go to the beach, the rain is not that strong. Inside the country, it rains much less. In Yangon, it can rain, but it can rain to 1 hour, very strong, and then it's fine. It's even refreshing. And well, let's say the monsoon is not really a problem in Bagan, in Mandalay, in Ile Lake, but it's a problem in the coast of Andaman, because the coast of Andaman is really wet, it's really strong. So the heaviest rain will be there. Sometimes you can be lucky and have 2, 3, 4 days of sun, you know, but we never know. So who wants to go to the beach if it's like 90% sure that it's gonna rain hard every day, right? So that's why the best season is considered mid-October to mid-March, and from from end of March, beginning of April, we have the dry season, and that's to me the worst time to travel because it's very hot.
Crowdy.
Tourism is really hot. If you go to the beach, it should be fine, but for the rest of the country, it's very dry. The landscape is also very dry. The harvest is done, so all the fields, the rice fields, everything is dry. Um, but the worst thing is definitely the heat. It's like, especially Bagan, Mandalay, which are two must places to visit in Myanmar, is extremely hot. You are all the time between 30 and 43 degrees, high humidity, not even a cloud, or it's always very sunny. I can tell you here for 3, 4 months, no one drop of rain, zero rain for 4 months. And then for 4 months, every day raining, you know. And then for 4 months, it's like now, November, December, January, February, especially, it's like some clouds, better weather. You know, the landscape is beautiful. So this is what I would recommend. Okay, like for those who want to go to the beach, for those who don't mind about the beach, I strongly recommend. I say again, August July, August, September, because much less tourist, like 80% less tourist. So better price, better deal as well. And the rain is also beautiful. You know, the photography tours sometimes have group of photographers, and we recommend them to come to the rainy season because it's really beautiful with the clouds and the colors changing according to the sunset, the sunrise, much less tourists, and it's fine. You know, they usually they don't look that much for the beach because what they want is to go to the natural place and make the photos.
Yeah.
So that's why, depending on if you want the beach or not, but let's say if I have to recommend to someone, I would say come between July and February. This is the best time. If you want the beach, then mid-October.
Sylvia is asking about the rainy season because maybe she's used to, as I used to, that when I travel to Asia and it's rainy season, it's often that it's raining for like 2 hours at the evening and that's all. Or it's more than how it's in Myanmar, or it's more in like in India and South India that can be huge rain whole day. How looks the rainy season?
Okay, it's actually unpredictable. Okay, and because it's 4 months, in 4 months we can have just I would say 5 or 6 days that it can rain the whole day. in 4 months, huh? I'm talking.
4
So,
months.
and in one region, maybe it's raining here, but you go to Bagan, it's not raining, you know. So that's why it's like, I would say, as I said again, the rainy season, if you don't go to the beach, because it's where you have more rain, including Yangon also. Here in Yangon, it rains a lot more than Mandalay, Bagan, Inle Lake. But Yangon, we talked yesterday, Awira, about that. It's like, it's a place for staying 1 day, maybe 2 days, relax after the trip and waiting for your international connection. Go, of course, to visit the Shwedagon Pagoda or the National Museum. There are a couple of things to do, but not much more. So the problem, as I said, is mainly in the coast, and Yangon is very near to the coast. That's why it's a problem as well. But even myself, I live here, and I tell you, it's like we have 5, 6, 7 days that it's raining almost the whole day. But all the other, so 95% of the time, what happens is during in the morning it's hot. Still, we have lots of clouds, but it's not raining. And from the afternoon, evening, it starts to rain hard, but hard for 1 hour, 2 hours, then it stops. And then maybe you can have another storm during the night. But usually in the morning when you wake up, you have the little bit the sun or the clouds, but it's not more than 1 or 2 hours per day. Usually this is the rainy season. But obviously sometimes we have 1 or 2 days that it's raining so hard a lot.
Yeah.
Not big problems though, huh? Not like flooding everywhere. And I mean, they manage. We never have big problems with the rains. We had a couple of years in some regions maybe that are less touristic, but that's why I'm saying I love and I recommend the rainy season for those who don't go to the beach, because they will say they will be alone in Bagan. Bagan is very hot always, and including the rainy season. So if it rains 1 hour, you're gonna say thank you. You know, you're gonna say,
Yeah.
oh, thank you, you know. So it's gonna be 1 hour, and then you will have the clouds. And when you will take the photo with the temples, with the clouds, it's gonna be beautiful, you know, much more than going there now, which is the high season, is more expensive. But you will go there and you will say it's too hot, you know. It's like especially for Polish or people who are
Yeah.
like less used, yeah.
So we can agree that it's holier destination.
Well,
Well,
no, as I said, like April, May, June is too hot. You
it's
can
too hot.
come,
But some people
but if
like really high temperatures, you
yeah,
know.
okay, yeah, then but you remember the problem I tell you is also the landscape is too dry.
Yes, true, true,
People
true.
they like a lot, right? The landscape, and if you just want to visit some temples and go to the beach, it's fine. And we have tourists coming during this season, huh?
Yeah.
But if you're looking for landscape, the problem is many people they want to see the rice fields, the farmers, how it works, and you don't have it because people they harvest, so everyone is at home. So you don't see any activity in the rural areas of Myanmar. That's why, for example, trekkings. You know, many people they come, they like to make a trekking and sleep in local monasteries or local homes, wherever. Especially French people, they like a lot this. So from mid-February, we stop selling because it's too hot, and because you go through the fields that are dry, completely dry, you don't see anything, you know. So that's why it's only these 3 months that is a bit too much for for everyone. Even
You
local people, they say like it's too hot.
It's too hot.
And
Yeah,
yeah,
now I see that the view behind you is really amazing. It was a
it's
good
getting
time for
yeah.
yeah.
And you will see now it's like in 10 minutes, because the sunset is done now. In 10 minutes it's gonna be you will not see me anymore, but you will see the golden pagoda. Don't forget, is all covered by gold leaf. So it's all gold. There are tons of gold on this pagoda. Plus, it's surrounded by other relics of Buddhism and things. It's a very, very special place, and very, sometimes foreigners and those who are not Buddhist, they go to other pagodas, they can like more or less. But this one is a real must, and everyone really enjoys, because it says like, wow, it's really impressive when you are there. it's not. I mean, 99% of is just local people. They come here to pray, you know, and I mean, you see lots of monks that also come for meditation. Is really really. I really miss it actually because it's
Mm,
been 8 months that it's closed, and
yeah.
sometimes it feels good, you know, even though I'm not Buddhist, to go there and to feel the spirituality and
Mhm.
yeah, it's very relaxed and very nice. Yeah, very
Yeah,
beautiful.
I understand what you are talking. Yeah, even if
Mm.
I'm not Buddhist, but I know the feeling. Yeah.
Yeah,
How many
yeah.
how many people lives in Myanmar? And is this country like multicultural? Because you are from half Spain, half French. You live there. There are a lot of
Yeah.
people that they come to Myanmar to live there.
Uh, okay, from around Asia, a lot, and during the times, you know, during the British period, many people from what nowadays is India or Bangladesh or wherever came here. If we go beyond in the history, you see lots of migration, you know, people and ethnic groups that came from Nepal, from China, from South China especially. Then with the Chinese Cultural Revolution, many people from Yunnan also came to Myanmar. So these people from second, third, fourth generation, but it's Chinese and they sometimes still speak Chinese. Same for Thai people, you know, like they came here to make business or whatever, or mix, you know. Sometimes obviously there are mix. So that's why it's in terms of cultural mix is amazing. We have here in Yangon, you have everything. You have churches, but not all kind of churches, you know, like Baptist, Catholic, Protestant, everything. You have of course the main is Buddhism, but then you have Hindu temples,
Hmm.
you have mosques, lots of mosques you have, especially in downtown area. And you see when you walk around that yeah, I mean, in our office, for example, of course we have some Europeans, but Europeans, we are very few compared to other countries like Thailand, Vietnam. There are not that many expats. There are
Mhm.
much less foreign companies. There are much less expats. There are much less tourism as well, and things related. Okay, because foreigners, for example, we can still not buy easily lands or where we have some specific things, but that's why there's not a lot of foreign investment. Um, but in terms of multicultural, especially from Asia, from the Asian countries, is amazing. I mean, you'll see all kind of colors and religions and worships and living together. You know, in our office we have everything. We have Muslims, we have Hindus, we have Christians, we have from Myanmar. I mean, plus the foreigners. So so yeah, it's let's say very multicultural inside Asia. Also, obviously there are people from Singapore, from here and there making business. Maybe less Europeans. I mean, there are some foreign companies, of course. There are some people working in hospitality. Mainly British and French, quite a lot. But then you see a very few from the other destinations. Sorry, from the other European countries, you have a lot, much less people. You know, like I don't know, I don't know the figures exactly, but for you to make an idea, for Spanish, I know there are not more than 200 people. You know, here 200 maybe, but for French you have more than 3,000. So it depends on the like Italians, you have also very few. Usually you go to Thailand, you can have 10 times more Europeans than here, even though we are next to each other.
Yeah, that's true. I need to postpone some regards from for you from Martin Ellis. He is asking, "Hi Oriol, how are you, my friend?" And he asked me to postpone the regards for you. And he wrote something also, but I don't know if I will read it well, but I will try.
Okay.
Bien tot les parere.
Viento.
Bien tot les parere. Okay, you will read it after and you will know
Yeah, well,
what he's talking
yeah,
about.
bien. Yeah, no, because I think, but it should be French or
I have
Spanish.
no idea.
Because maybe
I
maybe it's
think
French
it's
because
Spanish, but maybe it's my wrong
viento
pronunciation.
means soon, let's well, maybe it's like soon they will travel or soon something like that. I'm not sure. I should see it written, but yeah, I think he's just greeting. So thank you very much, and greet for him as well. And yeah, hope they will travel soon to Myanmar as well.
Yeah, I know he would like to go. He really liked this
Great,
country. Yeah.
great, great.
Often when my clients come to me, they ask me, they have limited time, yeah, because of the holidays. I mean, the
Yeah.
FIT clients, or families, they have limited time because of the holidays, etc. So often they have like 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks. So which places you will recommend them for this
Okay.
part, yeah, this time?
Okay, let's say we will separate the beach. Okay, like if you want the beach, okay, you can spend minimum 3 nights. Because you need a flight to get there. You cannot really go. You can go by road, but it would be too long, expensive. The roads are really bad for going to this part of Myanmar. So if we exclude the beach, for sure there are 4 musts. The 4 are Yangon when we are here, just let's say 2 nights. Napali, no, sorry, no, Napali is the beach. Yangon, Bagan. Bagan is like for sure 2 to 3 nights, but don't forget that is an archaeological site. It's only about temples. You cannot
Yeah.
really experience the local life or do any other thing. However, everyone needs to go there. Everyone enjoys, and it's 2,200 temples. I think it's the cover photo you put, right, for
Yeah.
this talk.
Yeah.
So it's definitely something like, it's a little bit like Angkor Wat in Cambodia. It's like if you go there, you need to visit, right? But depending on how much you like the temples, but it's also a nice place because it's hot, so you can take a good hotel with a nice view. There's the Irrawaddy River. We also try to make other excursions, cooking class. The food is very good. So yeah, you will spend like a very pleasant at least 3 days. Okay. Then you have Inle Lake. Inle Lake, there is much better in terms of the different things you can do and experience. Because Inle Lake itself, at least 1 or 2 days of visit because it's huge. There's a lot to see around. But also the area surrounding, you have everything you want. You can bike, you can trek, you can take motorbikes also, for those who like motorbiking, but real ones, like off-road. You can go to an elephant camp. You can go to different places that they also have more, let's say, cultural heritage and stupas and ethnic groups that you will see on the way. The food is also great in Shan State. Everyone likes here and know the Shan State food. So Inle Lake is inside the Shan State. And even from there, from Inle Lake, you can extend to other places. Like in the south, you can go to Lueco, just 2 more nights, not more. But you can go to places that are a bit more remote, places that have been open to the tourism 2011, 2012, 2013. It means that it's places still very virgin and very unique that people usually enjoy a lot because they see it's like in terms of landscape, in terms of like the different cultures you see. So we said Yangon, Bagan, and Inle Lake, okay? Because then we have Mandalay. Mandalay for sure is a must in terms of culture. Why? Because people, Mandalay, if you read some books and check the guides, they will always talk about Mandalay. Mandalay is the last royal capital of Myanmar. So the last, let's say, when it was a kingdom, because nowadays it's a republic, but before the British, it was a kingdom for thousands of years. Well, a couple of thousand actually. But the thing is, in Mandalay, you have 3 ancient capitals of the country with some ruins. So you can visit 3 of them, but actually just one, you have really the ruins is very impressive. The other 2, it's like there's much less remaining. But then in Mandalay, you have also the artisans. You have a lot of handcrafters. They craft with the wood. They do the gold leaf. They do the jade training. We talk about the jade stone. The gold leaf, I said already. The marble stone. They do big Buddhas in marble. Everything is handmade. It's very spectacular. They also have things with garments like wavings and things like that. So for those who have this kind of, but real handcrafts, not like the for tourists, they really do it because they sell worldwide and especially inside the country. And very usually they don't even have anything to sell. They do in the streets and things, more for the Buddhism. Of course, you can buy things, but it's not really the kind of place you go for shopping. And that's why Mandalay, plus Mandalay is only 3 hours by car to Bagan. So that's why it's a must. But it's the second largest city of Myanmar. So people, when after seeing Mandalay, after seeing Bagan, it's so rural, it's so beautiful, the landscape, the mountains, the lakes, the rivers, it's very green, it's very impressive. And suddenly you go to Mandalay, and it's the second largest city, so you have buildings, you have motorbikes, you have traffic jam. So people can be a little bit disappointed if they don't know what they are going to see. And actually, some people, they say, okay, me, I'm not that much interested on pagodas and history and stupas and Buddhist things. So I'm more interested on nature. So then we recommend, okay, maybe then Mandalay, because you only have 10 days, right? Or you only have 8 days. Maybe it's better you spend these 2 nights there instead of Mandalay, right? So it's the only place that we should make clear on that.
Mm-hmm.
Because for sure,
And 2 weeks.
Inlelek and Bagan is for sure, is a must.
Mm-hmm. And 2 weeks is enough to see all these places that you recommended?
The 4 places I said, actually, it's enough in 10 days.
10
So,
days. Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's enough, more than enough. If you want to extend a little bit, depends, then we will ask, right? What you like, biking, you like trekking, you like beach, you like more culture, different things of the Burmese culture. Maybe you want to stay one more day here to relax or not, because the weather is nice, it's different, or you have a nice hotel. Even you can go to the southern part of Myanmar, which is a completely different extension. You need at least 5-6 nights. Okay, maybe 5 is enough. But if you go to the extreme south, you have the most, let's say, exclusive, because it's a archipelago with more than 800 islands. Only 4 or 5 resorts, very high end. Also, we have some options for more like kind of eco resort, more adventure, and like less luxury, but still I mean the beaches there are amazing, like the beach, and a big island with only like 10-12 bungalows. You are alone for you. I mean, it's really the paradise, but it's expensive. I mean, compared to Nepali, to the typical beach of Myanmar is Nepali, and this is okay because it's not very developed. You don't have lots of big hotels. It's not like where we go to these kind of places, maybe in Thailand or also in Europe, that you have a lot. No, it's really calm. It's really relaxed. It's very beautiful, and the price is fine, but it's exclusive, and you have 5-star hotels. It's very nice, very relaxing for people who really want to go to a place. Even in the high season, you feel like you are alone. It's very nice. But if you want more than that, you go to the southern part. But then it's like we are talking things that are gonna be like let's say mostly $500 to $600 per person per night. So we are with the prices of Maldives already. So it's like for luxury travel, okay? But of course, you have all what you need, all inclusive. It's also more exclusive actually than the Maldives, and I'll tell you why. Because actually, in these islands, what we have is the prime forest. It's not like they cut the trees and they put the palm trees and the hotels, but it's a jungle. So we have this beautiful beach with the jungle. What does it mean? That you have all the animals from the jungle. Huh? You have snakes, you have birds, you have everything, a bit separate from the hotel. But some people, this is what they want: the wildlife, the corals, the things. There's almost anything there, no fisherman. Most of the islands are virgin. Very few, very few villages of Moken people. Is the gypsy sea people, and so this is completely different world. Okay, that's why it's more like exclusive, and it's like you need to take a flight until there. There's only one flight a day, so it makes it, you need 5-6 days if you want to make these kind of extensions. And we have others in Myanmar. Okay, but well, since I know that you have some clients that like a lot the beach and the exclusive things, this is the kind of thing you can do. Yeah.
Which part of Myanmar we can find the ethnic groups?
Oh, this is a bit everywhere because
Mhm.
there are many. Actually, even in Yangon, you have all mix, like all kind of
Mhm.
restaurants, of ethnic restaurants and so on. But as I said before, it's like you will have the states. So you want big ethnic groups. So not
Mhm.
like, uh, um, because there are some ethnic groups that are really minorities that are in a small corner of somewhere, and you have less than 3,000 people. But mostly, if you check the map of Myanmar, the political map, you will see the states and the
Mhm.
regions. So in the states is where you find it more. So Shan State, Chin State, Kachin State, Kayin State, uh, Mon State, and I don't know if I'm missing one, but Rakhine State. So there are like
Mhm.
these 6 states. It means that the majority of the people there are the Rakhine people, the Shan people, the Mon people. And this is a different language, different culture, different food, different traditional dressing.
Hmm. So almost everywhere. But if we are looking for, I have a client that they are looking for really unique
Oh,
experience that they
I
want to
see.
meet with the
I see. Okay.
families. Hmm.
I see what you
So,
mean. Yes,
so
this we have mainly we can find me easily. Let's say not. We can go very far. We can offer you, as you know, like a trip that we will drive for hours, and being in villages where they never had electricity, and
mhm,
it's really, really very authentic and isolated ethnic groups, like in the border with could be China or India. These places, are very remote, very and it's really spectacular, but it's not for everyone. I mean, you need to be let's say ready
yeah,
to be
true.
flexible, right? And yeah,
Mhm,
but if you want something with a bit more comfortable but still local home, but they are more prepared, and you see other ethnic groups, is around Ile Lake. You have everything there. In one trekking you can easily visit 5-6 different ethnic groups.
mhm. Okay.
Yeah.
So Ile
And
Lake,
then
but for the people that they are looking for really unique experience and they are predict to
sure.
uncomfortable, you know, places, go to the border close to India or China.
Yeah, absolutely. But then also it's a matter of price, because there are no airports there. We need to rent a car only for
I
them,
know.
to drive with them, because we need to escort them with a special permit sometimes.
Mhm.
I mean, everyone something like this. For us, it can be done, obviously. And we have clients that do it and go to the festival of the Nagaland people in the northern part of Myanmar, which can be done. But this is it's really like before we were talking about these Virgin Islands in the south. Is absolutely a different thing, not for everyone. Many hours of driving is a different
Mhm.
price, but it's really unique. Very, very, very few tourists a year go there. If
Yeah.
you want something still like see the ethnic groups, different ethnic groups, very also unique and with beautiful landscapes, and sleeping there in the small monastery of the village or in a local home with a Pa'o ethnic group family, with the women, they have a beautiful dress like
Mhm.
this, and very few tourists actually also go there, because also we try to find the tourists that the trekkings and the path that is not the most touristy one. Even we apply to the government to for some families to be able to uh, accept the guest, because you need the paper. You cannot sleep in a local home. Is not allowed unless
Mhm.
they give you the permission. So in
I
order
see.
to don't sleep in the same places everywhere, because sometimes it looks at the end like a hotel. You have 20 next to you. It's not like that. You have many different trekkings, many different things and ways to do it, and yeah, it can be done in around Ile Lake more cheap and easily than. But if you want other places, as I said, probably border with India is one of them most spectacular and less
Mhm.
touristic places in Myanmar. Yeah, that can be done.
Oriol, we have only 5 minutes, after which you
Okay.
need to run to the entrance. So
Yeah,
this is why I
yeah.
want to.
I see right now. I still see some people around, but to be honest, I'm more scared about the mosquitoes that are growing fast
Oh,
around me.
so you will be fast. So I would like to ask you last question. Something
Please.
about cuisine. Which meals you recommend for somebody who are coming to Myanmar? Which is that you need to try?
Okay, that's again a very good question because there's a lot. As I
Mm.
said before, ethnic groups we have 134. Okay, let's say there are only like 7, 8 that are big ones, and they all have ethnic restaurants. In Yangon, you have Kachin food restaurant, Shan food restaurant, and it's all different, right? But there are, apart from some fruits that are delicious here, tropical fruits and some also vegetables that are unique. And everything you try, usually, especially in the central Myanmar, will be very good, very tasty. And the thing is that they will always give you a lots of small dishes. You will not
Mhm.
have only one dish. You will have at least uh, 4 or 5, even sometimes 10, 15 dishes with rice. So you can try many things, many curries, many vegetables, many things. So if I need to choose, there are some curries, of course, that for sure I will try. But there are two things. One is it's called, is almost like the national dish. It's called the mohinga. Mohinga
Mhm.
is a kind of soup with some noodles, fish, and other products. You need quite a lot of time to do it. It's not something easy to do. So they sell sometimes in the street or in the restaurants, and it's kind of a fish soup that is really delicious. Can be a little bit too much spicy for us, but it's a very
Mhm.
good. It's very good. And then I like a lot those who want something a bit more light. Is the tea leaf salad. There are many
Mhm.
salads. Salads actually are really different than compared to the European salads because usually have more dressing, sauce. Even sometimes they cook it a little bit or they mix it somehow, and but it's still a salad because you eat it cold. And the tea leaf salad or the tamarind tree leaf salad, these kind of salads are very different than what we are used. And when you go to a restaurant and you try it with a little bit of rice and mutton curry is very good also here, or pork curry, or just or a vegetarian curry. Sometimes a pumpkin curry or eggplant
Mhm.
curry is always seasonal. That's the first thing. Always according to the season, and very good. Yeah, that's what
Now
I want.
it's what you said before. You are dark, and the pagoda
Yeah,
is really
that was.
beautiful, gold.
Yeah, let me
Yeah,
show you maybe a little bit more there.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
you can see it
Now
there,
it's
right?
cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So
it's really nice.
so yeah, that's yeah. We also have the moon, but cannot be seen easily there.
Yeah, we see.
But well, it's fine, it's fine. So yes, now, my friends, I think it's time for us to say bye bye because in this park they will close in 5 minutes.
Yeah,
But
you
I'm
will
very
stay
happy.
there for the night in another way. So
Yeah, I don't know if I can survive here with the mosquitoes during the night because it's very green. There's a lot of small streams,
yeah.
lake there. So yeah, but at least the temperature is nice, and the most important, I really wanted you to see how beautiful it is. Probably it cannot be seen that much, but you can see the pagoda from almost everywhere in Yangon, and yeah, it's a really powerful and beautiful thing to have it.
Oriol, thank you very much that you joined to our virtual trips around the world, and thank you for this place, which is really, really amazing. And now we need to
Thank you
cross
so
the
much.
fingers that you will have enough time to go out from the park until they
I'm
close it.
sure. I'm sure in some months, 3 to 6 months, we'll start receiving the first travelers here. And yeah, thank you very much for connecting with us, for working together. It's always a pleasure. I really appreciate the way you work, doing the things in a lot of detail and taking a lot of care of every traveler. So thank you very much, and wish you the best for everyone here.
Yeah, thank you very much and wish you the best as well. And I hope that soon I can send you a lot of travelers to beautiful Myanmar.
Thank you, Arita.
Thank you.
Have a nice afternoon, evening here already, night.
Yeah, have a nice
Take
evening
care of-
for you. Take care.
Take care of you, please, and let's keep in touch. And thank you, everybody, for your time and assisting to this video conference.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Kochani, Wam również dziękuję za udział w kolejnych wirtualnych podróżach. Oriol musiał się już rozłączyć i uciekać, ponieważ to jest czas, kiedy park jest zamykany, ale bardzo Wam chciał pokazać właśnie ten ostatni widok oświetlonej przepięknie na złoto pagody w Yangon przy zachodzie słońca. Musicie przyznać, że widok był niesamowity. Ja mam wrażenie, że strasznie szybko upłynęła ta godzina, przynajmniej mi, i gdzieś tam rozkoszowałam się tym wszystkim, co on opowiadał i zachęcał do odwiedzenia Mjanmy. Ja Was również serdecznie zapraszam, jak tylko będzie otwarta, żeby tam pojechać, ponieważ to jest kraj, który stosunkowo niedawno został otworzony na turystykę, więc zdecydowanie warto go odwiedzić, ponieważ nie jest jeszcze bardzo skomercjalizowany i możecie bardzo takich autentycznych przeżyć doświadczyć tam. Także dziękuję Wam bardzo za dzisiejsze spotkanie, za dzisiejszy udział aktywny w naszych kolejnych wirtualnych podróżach. Oczywiście już teraz Was zapraszam na kolejne spotkanie, które odbędzie się już wkrótce. Opublikujemy informacje na naszym fanpage'u odnośnie kierunku i odnośnie dnia. A teraz życzę Wam cudownego dalszego dnia.